Imagine this. You have everything you need, more money than you thought you'd ever have, a secure future, and the freedom to do what you want. But instead of feeling satisfied, you find yourself chasing even more. Why? In Chapter 3 of The Psychology of Money, Morgan Housel digs deep into this relentless pursuit and the idea of never enough. Welcome to Book Summary, where we transform life-changing books into actionable insights. Today, we're diving into Chapter 3 of The Psychology of Money by Morgan Housel. Morgan Housel's Chapter 3, Never Enough from The Psychology of Money, delves into a profound aspect of financial psychology, the idea that our endless pursuit of more can lead to unnecessary risk, stress, and, ironically, financial loss. Through gripping stories and sharp observations, Housel examines why some people find it nearly impossible to recognize when they've achieved enough, and how this unrelenting hunger can erode happiness and stability. Housel kicks off this chapter by telling the story of Rajat Gupta, a man who seemed to have achieved everything anyone could ever want. Gupta rose from modest beginnings in India to become the CEO of McKinsey, one of the world's most prestigious consulting firms, and amassed considerable wealth, influence, and respect. By most standards, he had made it. But for Gupta, success was not a point of contentment. It was a stepping stone to even greater ambitions. His desire for even more led him to engage in insider trading, a decision that ultimately ruined his career, reputation, and freedom. This story acts as a cautionary tale, illustrating Housel's key point. If we're not careful, we can let our appetite for more money and status consume us, leading us to take unnecessary risks that compromise everything we've worked for. Gupta had enough by anyone's standards, yet he craved more, which ended in devastating consequences. It begs the question, how much is enough? Housel highlights that human psychology often makes enough feel elusive. Even when people set financial goals, like, I'll be happy once I reach X amount of money, they rarely stick to them once that milestone is achieved. Why? Because the goalpost keeps shifting. When we reach a financial goal, we adapt to it, and new desires emerge. This phenomenon, known as the Hedonic Treadmill, makes us normalize our achievements and possessions quickly, pushing us to seek new levels of success or wealth to maintain excitement and satisfaction. One of the main drivers behind this cycle is social comparison. In today's world, where we're constantly exposed to others' lifestyles through social media, it's easy to fall into the trap of comparing ourselves to those with even more wealth, luxury, or status. Even people who have attained significant financial security can feel inadequate if they see others living more lavishly. Housel warns that chasing a lifestyle based on comparison is a dangerous game, one that doesn't have an end, and one that can make us compromise our values, relationships, and long-term happiness. Housel emphasizes that chasing more is not a harmless ambition. It often comes with real costs. When we're constantly reaching for the next level, we put our existing financial stability at risk. People may start making riskier investments, taking on higher debts, or cutting ethical corners, all in the hopes of increasing their wealth and standing. This was clearly illustrated in Gupta's story, but it's also a reality for countless people who overextend themselves financially just to reach a new status they think will make them happy. In addition to financial risks, Housel suggests there's an emotional toll. People who are driven by a never-enough mindset often experience burnout, stress, and anxiety. They miss out on the joy and peace that comes from simply appreciating what they already have. And for some, it damages relationships, as the pursuit of more wealth can strain family life, friendships, and other meaningful connections. The antidote to the never-enough trap, Housel argues, is learning to cultivate contentment. This doesn't mean giving up on growth or ambition. It means setting realistic goals, appreciating our achievements, and recognizing when we've reached a point that meets our needs. Housel encourages readers to redefine their idea of wealth. Rather than seeing wealth as a constant climb toward more, he frames it as the ability to do what we want with whom we want on our terms. In essence, real wealth isn't about luxury or status. It's about freedom and the peace that comes with knowing you have enough. Housel challenges readers to build a relationship with money that prioritizes mental and emotional well-being over material gain. By focusing on contentment and stability, we avoid the self-destructive cycle that often comes with the never enough mentality. The final lesson in this chapter is perhaps the most powerful. Knowing when to stop. Housel acknowledges that many people struggle with this, but he emphasizes that it's a skill worth developing. He encourages readers to recognize what enough looks like for them personally, without letting societal pressures or comparisons push them into needless risk. By defining and honoring our own limits, we can protect both our financial security and our mental health. In the end, never enough is a call to shift our focus from endless accumulation to a more grounded, fulfilling approach to wealth. Housel reminds us that money, at its best, should serve as a tool for freedom, not a trap that makes us feel constantly inadequate. True wealth, he concludes, is found not in chasing after more, but in having the wisdom to appreciate what we already have. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this breakdown of Never Enough from the Psychology of Money, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to stay tuned for more insights from the book. And don't forget to turn on notifications, so you'll know right away when we release our next chapter summary. In the next chapter, we're going to dive into confounding compounding, where Housel unpacks the power of compound interest and how it's often misunderstood. It's a chapter that will totally change how you see wealth building over the long term. Trust me, you won't want to miss it. Let me know in the comments what you think about the idea of enough. Do you agree with Housel's perspective? Or do you think there's more to it? I'd love to hear your thoughts.